Hey, Liam Ward here. Today I'm going to teach you how to use vibrato in your harmonica playing. I'm using a C diatonic harmonica, but any key of diatonic harmonica will do absolutely fine for this. So first off, we need to understand what vibrato is. So it's a fluctuation in pitch on a note. So it adds texture, it adds depth and emotion to that note. So if I give you a little demo on the 2 draw, or the 4 draw, so it's a really useful technique that you can have, but it takes a bit of getting used to. In fact, it's probably going to take you years, maybe a lifetime to master it, but don't worry, you can get started today. I'm going to get you doing this straight away. It's just going to take a long time to refine it. So it's important to distinguish vibrato from tremolo. Now, as I say, vibrato is a fluctuation in pitch, whereas tremolo is a fluctuation in volume. So this can be achieved with your hand or with your tongue, but it sounds similar, which is why it's sometimes confused. It also introduces a pulse, just as vibrato does, but it's not as deep and rich and emotionally soulful. So if we use our hand, that's a tremolo. It's just that I'm stopping and starting the air to change the volume. Or you can use your tongue, la la la, ya ya ya. But it's not as big and rich as. So they're slightly different techniques, and vibrato is kind of the holy grail we want to go for. So I've got a 3-step plan for you to learn vibrato. We're actually going to start sort of with a tremolo, and then we're going to adapt it and expand it, deepen it to turn it into a vibrato. So step 1 is to play your 2 blow and to try saying ah, 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 ah on that blow note. So that's kind of a tremolo technique, slow tremolo. Just going I'm not verbalizing the but I'm going. So the breath is intermittent, or at least the intensity changes. So that's our first step. Once you're used to that, step 2 is to change that to an inhale, a draw breath, 2 draw. Okay. Okay. And then once you've got used to that draw breath, the final step, step 3, is to deepen the pull of the air. Okay. Now this is the crucial, but unfortunately the most difficult bit. So you want to, instead of just going you want to try and pull from your throat or even from your stomach muscles. So I actually sort of pull from as deep down as I can, my stomach, and it's almost like a jerk, sort of jerky kind of reaction, like the stomach muscles are going. So instead of a gentle, I'm going. And you can hear that the note is starting to be pulled from deeper and actually fluctuate in pitch rather than just volume. If I slowed it down, I mean, it's kind of an inflective sort of reaction, but if I slow it down and do it manually with a kind of a bend, if you slowed down a vibrato of your favourite player and really slowed it down, the sound file, you'd hear that. Anyway, so what I'm doing is trying to pull from deep intermittently. Some people describe it as kind of an inward cough or an inward kind of tension, almost a slurp of the air. But however you want to describe it, hopefully you can tell and hear from what I'm doing that there's a little bit more tension and force than if I'm just going As long as you're just going you're only going to get tremolo. So there has to be that. I can feel my chest expanding, my lungs expanding, and my stomach is actually, you can't see in the video, but my stomach is kind of tensing and releasing. Now, this is going to take a long time to master, to get hold of, but hopefully if you're getting that note to move at all, to have any fluctuation in pitch, then you're on the right path. So from day one, you've got the right technique in the bag. The important thing is learning to control it, because you're using muscles in your throat, in your stomach, that aren't used to being controlled, that you're not used to controlling. So you have to learn to control them. You'll need time, and you're also going to need patience to master vibrato. Everyone has their own vibrato, and that's actually something beautiful about this technique. Mine tends to be more of a gentler one and a slower one than some people's. If you listen to someone like Paul Butterfield, he's got an amazing attack and a really fast vibrato. And sometimes I wish I could do that, and maybe one day I'll learn to do it. But it's also important to embrace your own vibrato, what yours sounds like. It can really help to practice to a metronome. At first, your vibrato will probably be faster than you want it to be, and you have to learn to control it, slow it down, because the muscles will be kind of going. And you have to learn to get it down to say. That sort of speed. The actual speed you want to do it is up to you. Also, maybe you might want to fit it in with the music that you're playing, but it's a beautiful technique to try out. I hope this has helped you to get started with your vibrato. Just a quick note that you're going to get a good vibrato, or an easier vibrato, on holes 1 to 6 draw. So maybe try around those holes. You can get vibrato on all holes of the harmonica to a certain extent. You could also get vibrato on your bent notes, but just to get started with, I'd probably say start on 1 to 6 draw. If you'd like step-by-step lessons to really supercharge your harmonica playing, then check out the link in the description to my harmonica school. Let me know your thoughts and questions in the comments section, and I'll see you again soon for another harmonica lesson. Cheers.